Greetings, dear ones. Happy Friday, January 28th. Almost the end of January and moving into a new month and a new moon on February 1st, which I'll pop on and talk a little bit about then. And of course, a big day in the world of my perspective, my work, is Groundhog Day. So I'll be doing a special transmission that day, a special live talk and transmission. And I really encourage you to try to attend, because the more people that are aware of and participating in this process on Groundhog Day particularly is a way to break that past, that cycle of past, for yourself and for our world. One of the fabulous quotes I came across this week is from the philosopher Santayana, who was actually one of my first energetic teachers way back in college. And the quote is, "Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it." And we're at such a crucial point and such an exciting point. You know, last week I spoke of a kind of a pallor of gray hanging over things, and the word melancholy was very present. And yet at the same time, one of the key messages that came through was about the sun, and on a particular oracle card, and the creation abilities therein. And certainly if we're watching news, whether it's on TV or just however you do get your news, it can be very challenging at this point in time, because it looks as if we're heading over the cliff in many ways, and there's nothing and no one stopping it. But that's the exciting part, is that you don't have to depend on someone, something, some entity, some structure, some government, religion, corporations, economy. You do not have to depend on any of that for your future. And the exciting energetics that are pouring onto this planet and pouring into our Milky Way. There's a lot of very powerful galactic energetics moving right now. You who are old souls may be experiencing this in your physicality. A lot of symptoms of pain, particularly body pains, joint pains, also sleeplessness, or dizziness. There's many other symptoms. And again, please reach out or comment below, or reach out to me if you're experiencing any of this, because a lot of it has to do with not only the galactic energies pouring onto the planet, but what's going on with the planet itself. And I can do a read of you to let you know maybe where you need to increase your energetic attention, either in your body or through your energy field, or an aspect or a structure of your energy field, or even on the planet or off planet. So everybody is so very different. You find so often that there are blanket cures, just like there are blanket solutions in the medical world of taking certain medications, or certain surgeries or practices. And it's going to be upon us to really decide what works for us. That's one of the many, many, many gifts of this pandemic, is to really be aware of what feels right for you. Now, we all know that in regard to the pandemic and masking and vaccinations and so forth, that you really have to find your way. And if family, friends are not in alignment with that. If they're not going along with that, then maybe you need to carve out your own space and really anchor into what allows you to feel secure. And that's true energetically also. To have that energy field integrity, as it was referred to in one of my gatherings with colleagues earlier this week. And that integrity of self comes when and as you really know yourself. And this week was just a fabulous week with clients. It always is, because I am just so humbled and in awe of the depth and breadth of their willingness to explore internally and see who they really are and who they are not. And when that happens, not only are there more choices in your world, because we think that, or we see our world and our lives oftentimes with blinders on. And those blinders were created for protection and for the child to be able to continue to live and function in the world that they were living in without any say-so or without being able to leave. So those safety measures of the blinders are no longer necessary, but your defense system doesn't know that. So it's going to continue to function to protect you as if you were a child. And so in sessions with clients this week, as they delved in and really we were able to access, oftentimes even if stars align and everything is moving well, and your soul has targeted that particular moment to give you the greatest opportunity for transmutation, then we are able to access almost the exact point in time when that particular pattern got fixated and when that particular form of blinders went on, to create a self-belief or a belief about self and how the world works in relation to you. So once those are kind of broken off or widened, then your world becomes one of more, how do I want to say it, not only choices but potentials. And it also allows for the sense of you having a say, having decision in what you want your future life to be. So again, these blinders, beliefs about who we are, mistaken beliefs, let's say, makes choices feel very limited. When those blinders come off or are widened, then we realize that we can make a difference, not just with our own behavior, kind of staying on top of your behavior and modifying your behavior, but really in co-creating with the universe, with your helpers, your divine helpers, your own life. You get to design it. You get to write the script. You get to lay out the blueprint. And when there are particular energetics pouring on the planet, it's a more opportune time. And again, individually, it may be more opportune for you today rather than a week later when it's more opportune for someone else. This all comes from knowing thyself psycho-emotionally, spiritually, energetically, to be able to tune in and receive the information. Again, that information doesn't always come in nice, clear English sentences, as I've said before. And we are such individuals that information doesn't necessarily come from what's referred to as higher mind or through the third eye. Everyone has their own very, very unique means of receiving information. So again, when you know yourself, you know you get to know that system, know the languaging, much like, languaging your dreams. So it's really pertinent right now to be clear in your vision for yourself. And I use the word vision, but just, to kind of give a better idea of what we're talking about with co-creation. But what I have found over decades of doing this work is that it really lies more in the feeling. So it's not just about seeing how you want your future to be, because again, that comes from the mind oftentimes, or even, again, higher mind, which is wonderful. Consciousness does create, as it says, but it is the feelings within that are the firepower that allows those to truly be planted in the web, in the greater soup, if you will, of our universe, of consciousness, of human choice, voting, etc. So we oftentimes get clues, whether it's about our own lives. We all get kind of little glimpses of, oh, I shouldn't be doing that, or I should change that, or that's really not working for me anymore, or I really don't care for that. It doesn't feel good. But we quickly, consciously and unconsciously, close our eyes to that, lock down the avenue by which that information is coming in. Again, based in the old childhood fears and the defense system therein trying to protect. So too, we not only receive information in our lives about what is not really good and what we should or ideally need to address or change, but also we get little glimpses of our future selves, of our future lives, whether those images or sensations or pictures come through in images that we see, or movies, or other means, or you have a little sensation inside of, oh my goodness, what could I be? What would I be if blank, blank, blank wasn't there? What might my life look like if X wasn't a part of it? And I don't necessarily mean a person, but it can be. And those glimpses are your future self speaking to you. It is your wider self, your soul self, giving you encouragement or little sips, tastes of what it could feel like for you to be functioning, living at your higher potential, at your in your essence self, following your bliss, as it's called. So please pay attention to those, particularly right now. I opened up again one of my science journals today, and there is a completely never before seen force in our galaxy, in our Milky Way galaxy, that is transmitting massive amounts of energy, or emitting massive amounts of energy, pouring towards the planet at a very rapid rate. It's almost like a flashing It comes on and then it's not seen, and then it comes on again. They've named it GLEAM, are the letters that are used, GLEAM, and at the moment I can't remember what that stands for, but it is a new object in our Milky Way. We are also this week able to see the very center and photograph the very center of our Milky Way galaxy. Scientific breakthroughs constantly. We have this amazing pandemic that is giving us opportunities to make different choices. And that means designing our future. Another article came across my desk this week about utilizing black-eyed peas as fertilizer rather than chemistry, because of the way they react with the nitrogen in the soil and the potential for rejuvenating soil in a very different way and a much healthier way for the soil, for the plants that are, or for the harvest, for the grain or whatever they're going to plant on that particular plot. And of course, without the chemical runoff that's going into our water and our land and breathing in our air all the time. So there are breakthroughs in every area of our life coming through, and we have the opportunity to look one direction or the other. We can continue to live in the past's structuring, or we can look at all that's going on, all the turmoil, all the chaos, all the catalyzing incidents as potentials. And we're really living in a new way. This is one of the reasons why the pandemic is taking so long to be conquered or to, get out of our world, is continuous opportunities for the old structures to be broken down and to give us new opportunities and create potentials. Another headline that I saw this week is the mainstream has a beef about beef. And more people are becoming aware of the damaging effects on their body, on the environment, on the animals themselves, the cattle themselves, of beef and beef production and beef consumption. And a lot of this has come to light during the pandemic because of shortages, all the difficulties that the meat handling production and slaughtering of animals, all of that has been affected by shortages of people working in these factories, and the animals in their factories are being processed. Well, that's what's referred to as factory farming, among other. So please look around, see what you would like different in your world, in your personal world. See what you would like different in the global picture, and sit deeply in that wishing, that if you want to use visioning, that's great, but I always have found that in the feeling of that visioning, if you will, the power really, that's where the power lies. So if you'd like to see land or being used for other purposes than massive farming of grains that are detrimental to our world, or the cutting down of all the forests in order to have grazing land for the cattle, how would you like your world to be? You get to design it, whether personally or globally, right now. right now. It's malleable. It's very, very plastic because the rigidity of the old is falling away. This is what clients find when they're doing this work with me in the process that has been created over decades, is that literally the walls and prison cells are dissolving, and they are experiencing the joy of freedom, the sense of freedom and choice and pleasure in themselves and in their own life and in their own bodies. So this personal work has wide benefits, has wide effects. When you're going that deeply, absolutely. But even sitting every day, let's say you see an article or hear a headline and it's very upsetting, whether it's loss of some aspect of our environment or our climate, or the worsening storms we're expecting here on the East Coast, a massive blizzard storm, much damage, with high tides and water and snow and winds. And these storms, not that they haven't occurred throughout history, but the frequency and the size of them is different at this point. And again, that's due to to a great extent, our choices that we make on the environment. Again, food that we eat, everything affects how we are going to continue as a species or not. And you do have say-so, which is wonderful. It is exciting. There are good news networks. There is actually the Good News Network. John Krasinski was doing a podcast throughout the pandemic of some good news. That's no longer happening. But when you look at what's going on scientifically, and when you open your eyes and choose to receive information, not just spiritually, but literally on your news feed, what have you, of some of the progress and things that are happening around the world to better people's lives and to better the environment, it really allows you more space to be able to create. So I encourage you to look for those sources and to tune into them on a regular basis. Just checking my notes if there was anything else that I wanted to bring forward today. Just that we are heading for, always a new moon on February 1st is always an opportunity to write down, put in physical form, whether it's in words or draw pictures of what you would like to see manifest in the coming month. And always remember it's a great practice to write your abundance check, which means taking one of your regular checks and making it out to yourself, and in the space where you would write the numbers of the amount, you want to write in paid in full, and on the date in the now, and write out on the line where you would write out in words the amount of the check. You can write out the amount desired with no/doubt instead of 00 or 53 cents, whatever it would be. And it is signed by the law of abundance, because again, you are placing this into a very you're placing it into a potential. You're placing it into a law of a spiritual law of the universe, that what you say, what you think, what you feel can be manifest now faster and more accurately than ever. So it's a great time on the first, our new moon rather. This is also a time we're heading towards the equinox in March, where there's going to be massive positive waves of energies. So hang in there and really use your ability to create your life, the globe. And the only thing that impedes that are some of your own mistaken beliefs about yourself, about your power, about your rights to do so. And that is a wonderful place to explore and to transform, because there's a specific reason why those mistaken beliefs and misperceptions and apparent lies that you came to believe as a child, they're there for a reason. Your particular unique form and flavor of the highest potential for that seemingly low frequency experience. So we're going to call in some framework, even more, to this container we have here. As always, we have the divine feminine and the divine the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And if you align with any particular form of that the divine masculine, the divine feminine, be it God, goddess energy, or be it angelic energy, the archangels, however you really feel the strength and the power of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Allow them to be with you when you are doing this creating, because they're representing one of many dualities that we play with and explore in this universe. And as always, I invite in the elements, for they are the basic building blocks of everything in our universe. And they very powerfully can assist you in bringing a centering, or rather a balancing energy within you. So I call in and call upon the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And I ask that for all those listening, that they bring to right relationship the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies of each of you. I further call in and call upon the chief to center each and every one listening at any point in time, to center you in relation to the direction of the east for illumination with Brother Eagle, in relation to the direction of the west for introspection, especially at this time of the year when the invitation is to go within. With Brother Bear, to center us in relation to the direction of the south To always keep that wide-eyed wonder and playfulness and innocence of the young. And to center us in relationship to the north with our Lady White Buffalo. Gives us the opportunity for patience and prayerfulness and wisdom, as well to center us in relation to the direction of below, wherein lie the engineering, the maintaining of this incredible structure, Earth, and all the hidden realms, the inner Earth beings. I further ask that we are centered in relation to the above, with our cosmic family, planets, stars, nebula, the different structures that we are discovering daily, helping us, cooperating with us in our process of evolution. And just allow yourself to feel very seated on the chair or couch or floor. Allowing the energetics to swirl around you and help you sink down and within you to your inner verse. Wherein lie all potentials as well as all history of your soul. And as always, I invoke spiritual law to oversee and hold that all may be done in accordance with supreme universal law. For one might think, how is it possible that each and every one's idea or desire for the future can play out? But in a complex quantum way, all combine, and the overriding majority co-creative desires. Blend and weave and interweave. Designing the future not only of this planet, but of this galaxy. For each one of you in that interverse, sit in countless possibilities and potentials. And it is your choice of which one you want to play out next. Allow yourselves to experience in this moment the future energetics pouring in, flowing in, waving in, rolling under. There is not one soul, SOLE, form of future energetics. All potentials are accessible and available. Through a beautiful avenue, a song, a very powerful song, came through this week. We invite you to listen as and when you can. By Carly Simon. A river runs. As well, a most beneficial and powerful movie, Tomorrowland, which can awaken within you the remembrance, the awareness that you do have the power and the ability to make tomorrow whatever you wish it to be. And in this moment, allow yourself to sink down even deeper within. Allow yourself to sensate your internal experience, your internal sensations. Some of you may find that the edges of you get diffuse and unlimiting. Some may simply feel softness and a peace. Allow yourself to be guided by your energy field, your wider self. Down and within your inner verse, knowing that within this energetic container you are utterly and completely held and safe and secure. To adventure into perhaps unknown potentials and possibilities. Feel yourself dropping ever more inward. Therein lies all information. All possibilities of you. All potential futures. In this moment, not having to do anything, need not vision, need not see, need not think, need not effort, need not even intend. For your wider self, which is your soul self and your energy field, know the exact best experience for you in this moment. And the more you allow, the more you are able to actually experience within your own body being. Just allow, just experience. Some feel as if they're spiraling in. Some feel as if floating on a cloud downward. Some simply sensate their body form in a different way. And the more you allow, the more deeply you sensate. Feel. Experience. Your wider self, your soul self, your inner verse. We're going to sit, stay in this space, allowing future energetics to deepen, allowing you to deepen. In your experience of your internal universe. For you need not know how, you need not know where. Trust your soul and your soul's knowing. Ever allowing just feel, just allow. Your energy field knows exactly how to bring you to the ideal location within your innerverse. And as you allowed your energy field and your wider self to guide you down and within, so too now allow your wider self, your soul self, and your energy field to lead you back from what was perhaps a less physical experience of yourself back to a more physical framework. Nothing you need do. As a matter of fact, when you put your will into the mix, oftentimes the speed of your return causes you to miss out on the delicious sensation of being both a physical being and a non-physical being simultaneously. Thereby bringing you a deep sense of security and safety and trust and faith. That all is well, all will be well. For no matter the outcome, you know deep within you that as an eternal, this is merely one potential. And you have access to trillions. Of future potentials. Which one will you choose? You get to decide your future, our future. It reminds me of one of my favorite characters in the Men in Black series of Griffin, who is a fifth dimensional being who simultaneously sees and lives in infinite possibilities. If you haven't seen the third installment of the Men in Black movie series, I highly recommend it. Again, along with the reminder of Tomorrowland, and just want to double check that Carly Simon song that was gifted to me because I had not heard it before this week, and it is so, again, not only uplifting but really lets you tap into that future energy and the potential that you have to choose Sorry, I didn't want to misquote it. Here it is. And it is called Let the River Run by Carly Simon. And Facebook won't allow me to play it here, but I will try to put a link in the comments below or another post entirely. And again, please listen and please feel into it and find the song that best helps you remember that you have choice, that you get to design this, that you have a say-so, that your vote in your wish, in your desire, in your visioning, your vote matters. So, and as always, it was with the greatest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on the planet. Until next time, bye-bye.